now here. And Zach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Ken.
Tell us what's up in your life these days and what's your next journey.
Well, let's see. I'm starting a business, an agency right now called Mighty Swarm. Our focus is on helping e-commerce store owners to run better businesses. And we're doing that through our e-commerce sales accelerator. So it's a really cool new project, something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and just glad to be able to do it now. So
fantastic. Primarily, you're focusing on a few platforms in addition to WooCommerce, or?
Yeah, WooCommerce, Shopify, and BigCommerce, headless BigCommerce with WordPress. You know, the typical. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
All the evils. Excellent. All right. Well, whenever you want to get started, I'm going to turn off my webcam now and let you take over, right?
Okay.
Thank you.
So, thanks, Ken, for the introduction. So, I've been in the e-commerce space for probably the last, I'd say, 8.5 years now. When I first started out, I didn't know a whole ton, but I had a passion for it. I wanted to learn more, and I dove in. And I dove in by starting to work with a local organization called Oscar Mike that's based in Marengo. So I'm just up in Rockford, not far at all from the Chicago metro area. And I am very, very excited about what's next in the world of e-commerce. Right now, we have an opportunity that most other industries don't, and that is that we have been given the ability to serve people during a pandemic in ways that we never would have thought were even possible, right? And there's been some interesting development. Some industries, some subsets of the e-commerce market are up, some are down, mainly depending on what's needed by a number of people during this time. And I think that there's nothing but opportunity right now, and nothing but opportunity for store owners to really dive in and create something great that's going to last well beyond when we're past this pandemic. So, that's where I've been focused, is in trying to figure out what's next and how to help people to how to help people to get through this time period and really understand how they can best serve their customers, their customer base. So that's been where a lot of my focus has been. So anybody here that has seen me present publicly before? Just say yes or no in the chat, please. Ken, you definitely count on that, and you have seen me multiple times. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to talk about WooCommerce Blocks. Now, many of you might be familiar with Gutenberg and what Gutenberg is and what it does. It's the new page editing experience inside of the WordPress admin. And Gutenberg has changed the way in which most people who use WordPress create content. Now, there has been a movement toward other plugins creating additional blocks for Gutenberg. And what we're going to talk about tonight is we're going to talk about the blocks that were created by the WooCommerce team for WooCommerce. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw a couple of things together here real quick. I'm going to, I'm setting up a local install with Storefront, skipping past all of the fun things. And I'm going to get us a couple of example products added in and a homepage set up with Storefront's homepage template. So let me go ahead and share that window so that you guys can see what's going on there. And you should be able to see my screen now. Please let me know if you can't. Okay. So really creative. I called it Chicago Woo. And let's just go ahead and make this a bit bigger. I wish I could just choose a window, but it doesn't seem to allow me to do that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go in and make sure that the WooCommerce blocks are active. So I'm just going to go ahead and publish this now that Storefront's installed. Storefront's that default theme. And we're going to go ahead and look at our pages. Now, there are a couple of really quick big wins that I can talk to you about related to the WooCommerce Blocks plugin. Blocks are now shipping with WooCommerce Core, but not all of them. So as they're working on new blocks, they are added to the Blocks plugin, the WooCommerce Blocks plugin. So I'm going to show you, if we open up a page, what blocks are available in the block editor now. If I hit add here and I go to WooCommerce, we'll see a number of potential blocks that we can use. All reviews, featured category, featured product, hand-picked products, best-selling products, product categories list, on sale products, newest products, products by category, products by attribute, top rated products, reviews by product, products by tag, product search, reviews by category. There's a few of these, right? All products, filter products by price, filter products by attribute, and active product filters. That's a lot of blocks. Now, we don't have the WooCommerce Blocks plugin activated yet. So let's just activate that and let's go into a new page again. Let's see what things look like now. So you'll see that things have changed just a minor amount. There's two new blocks here, checkout and cart. Now, by a show of definitelys in the chat, so just type the word definitely, if you feel that the WooCommerce checkout and cart flow is dated. Definitely. Little old, little hasn't changed much. You know, it's just been there. And it's about time for a bit of a revamp. So let's take a look at probably the simplest change we can make to our cart using blocks. Now, right now we have this short code, WooCommerce cart. That's the normal cart page, right? We all know this cart page. We're used to it. We've seen it before. Let's just remove it. It's boring. Let's add a new block. Let's add the WooCommerce cart block. And let's edit the full cart view. That looks pretty good. I'm not too happy with this page so far, but We can look at shipping calculator, whether or not that shows up for changing your address in the cart to get shipping estimates. Let's just eliminate that right now. And that's all we really have for cart changes that we can make. But that already looks better than the existing cart, right? So if I update that, and let's just go to our page attributes here and make sure we're on a full width page, because that's going to look better. It's going to give us some more room. And we've updated our cart. Now, you may have noticed when I have this selected, it has two views that I can edit. We're in the full cart view. I can switch to the empty cart view, and I can look at what things look like here when the cart is empty. So I can modify things here. And I can add some different language here without really changing anything functionally. And customize what's showing up here. So we have this new in store headline. It's an H2. We have a WooCommerce block that shows what's new in store. And you'll see here, there's this option to transform to a different block. So I can change that to my best-selling products. I can go to top-rated products. And we can customize all those things about the cart using blocks without having to do any code editing. So we have a much better looking cart. We see a sale price here. We see our quantities. We see the product images. We see our cart totals, and everything is above the fold right now. It's pretty cool, right? If you like that, give me a +1 in the chat. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move forward to our checkout page while you guys respond there. And our checkout page, again, same thing. We've got a short code, right? This is the standard WooCommerce checkout page. Let's remove that short code block and let's add that new WooCommerce checkout block. Now, I don't know about you, but I really don't like the WooCommerce checkout. It's just not that great. It's, things are below the fold that should be above the fold. It's too complex. There are too many things going on. So what we can do now, I'm in a demo store, so I don't have shipping options configured or payment methods installed. We can add a payment method real easily. Now PayPal's here. Let's just enable it for now. Let's go back to our checkout page and let's refresh this. And so now you can see PayPal payment options showing here. If I had shipping options set up, we could, configure a shipping zone. Let's just set up a zone for United States, call it US, add a shipping method, flat rate. We're just going to set all that up. And Cost of $5 flat rate shipping. And let's just save those changes and go back over here and refresh. And we still have free shipping, but local pickup, all these things. Now that we have some shipping options, it's showing us a demo of what shipping options would look like in the checkout. Coupon code, all of that stuff is here. And we can add or remove fields. How many of you have had to write a filter just to remove a field like company from the checkout? If you've had to write a filter just to do that and add that to your functions PHP file, go ahead and write filter in the chat, especially if it aggravated you. Put an exclamation mark after it if it aggravated you, that it took all that just to do that. And, you know, apartment suite, that's an optional field. We can get rid of that. You know, we can require the phone number. You know, make that a required field. We can show the return to cart link, or we can remove it. So there's a return to cart link here. We can remove it just to remove some complexity and get rid of some things. So we have contact information, a shipping address, some shipping options. The use same address for billing is checked by default. And our payment methods. This looks a lot easier, right? Way nicer than the existing checkout page. So we've barely done anything so far other than remove some shortcodes and add some blocks. Let's go ahead and go and look at some of these things in the demo store that you can install. Let's add a V-neck t-shirt to our cart and look at our cart. Evidently, we're shipping to Illinois in the United Kingdom, which is weird. Coupon code's hidden. We can proceed to the checkout. We can change our country here. We have our flat rate shipping showing up. Email address, PayPal as a payment option. All of this just with a few blocks. So you can begin to see the power here of just using a few WooCommerce blocks to customize your store. And it goes beyond that. So, you know, we're used to using shortcodes. That's fine. There may be some blocks that don't always work right now. This one's not working because it's the product block new. So if I were to remove this and add the product block back in, I could just go here and go to newest products. And I can configure this to show exactly the same way. So 4x4. So I can just say this needs to be 4 columns, 1 row. And there we go. We have our new products, recommended products, and we can do the same with all of these to fix them, to make them all block based. So I can go into fan favorites. Fan favorites is going to be just as easy. We're going to go in and we're going to say there is a top rated. There's our top rated. We can go back to 4 columns, remove down to 1 row, and we can eliminate the original block there. Same thing for on sale, bestsellers, all of these. Even this one, the short code for product categories, that shop by category. I can go in and I can go here. And I can go to product categories list. And I can make it a list or a drop down. I can show category images. I can show any categories that are empty and have nothing in them. I can show it as a list or a drop down. I can also go in, and this is just the product categories list block. So I can go in and I can look at products by a category if I want. I can choose to show all of the hoodies. And we get a block that has all the hoodies. I can go in afterwards and let's decide, we don't want to show hoodies. We want to show accessories there. I can do that. I can make it 4 columns. I can make sure that the last inner block is aligned vertically with everything else. So you can see here, notice that the add to cart button on the sunglasses, because it's the only one that's not on sale, is above the rest of them. If I choose align last block, that add to cart button gets aligned with the other add to cart buttons so that they are all taking up the same vertical space. Really, really cool stuff, right? So what we've done here is we've converted most of this page. Let's just convert the rest of it. We want on sale items. Let's see if that works. Hey, it actually took the on sale items. Bestsellers, let's try and recover this one. There's our bestsellers again. And I can go back down to 1 column. Let's say we want 6 columns of that one. And just 1 row, we can do that. And if we really want to, we can remove the product ratings. We can remove the prices from here. We can even remove the add to cart button, but it depends on what you're trying to do there. You can filter these by category, so I can show just accessories that are in bestsellers. And you can modify the CSS classes that are being added. So really, really cool stuff. There's so much power here. I want to align the buttons on this one too. Notice that the name changes slightly based on which one you're using right now. This is just because not all of this is standardized yet. So there's so many blocks that we can mess with here in the WooCommerce section. We have all of these various blocks. Featured product is a great block if you're working on a homepage like this. Let's say I want to remove this block here. I'm going to remove this one. We are going to add a block that is just a single featured product. And we're going to feature the hoodie with logo. And there we go. We have a nice hero image at the top of the page. I can eliminate this shop by category. And you can see here, we're starting to get a much nicer looking store design just by putting some blocks together. And that's really the greatest feature about using blocks with your WooCommerce store, is that it really does feel like you're putting a set of Legos together to build a layout. And I can update our homepage here. And I can go back and view our site. And you can see all these changes that we've made are live immediately on our page. This is annoying me because it's not aligned, so I'd probably go back in and align that one too. So that is in a nutshell, everything that's going on with WooCommerce Blocks right now. There's some really neat stuff that they're working on with how you'll be able to use this content in other places. So let's say you're writing a blog post and you want to include a product in your blog post, or you want to hand pick products that you want to show in your blog post. So let's say you're talking about your new beanie and hoodie that you're going to be offering for winter, and you want to highlight those products in your blog post. This is a post that I'm editing right now, so we can bring those products right into a blog post. And from here, if I publish this, not really trying to do anything all that special here other than show this. If I publish this post, I can go in here and I can add to cart directly from my blog post. So if you are writing content that's establishing authority in the space in which your products exist in your store's category, and you want to bring people to that authority content and then show them products that fit what you're talking about, you can do that here. And just right inside your blog post, add to cart. From the blog post, they go straight to the cart. They can go to your nice new checkout that you did with blocks and keep everything all in the Gutenberg editor. So have we been editing the shop page? No. So this has all been from the dashboard. I've been editing the cart page, the checkout page, and then the home page, which is the front page that's added when you install Storefront with the demo content. So eventually there will be more features that you can get into and modify things. Right now, it's pretty much just the basic pages. If I go into a product here and I go to edit product, we're still in our older interface, no block editor here yet. But there will be, at some point in the future, a lot more flexibility with how you show products as well. So as WordPress moves toward full site editing for Gutenberg, we will get full site editing, headers, footers, the product pages, all of these other places that we'll be able to add in Gutenberg blocks and modify our layout and modify our design without having to require any code. There are also some really cool projects that are being worked on right now that basically will allow for creating custom blocks without having to write any code. So you'll be able to create a full block from inside the block editor, and it's right now it's called Block Lab. WP Engine acquired it, and they've been working on adding it to the Genesis framework so that you can use Block Lab to create a block from right inside of Genesis. Ken asked if it was okay to redirect the shop page to a page that you've custom designed. It is definitely okay to do that. I wouldn't redirect every product page, but your shop page, sure. If you wanted to create a custom page, you can do that. You can custom design whatever you want in Gutenberg or the page editor of your choice and use all of these blocks to bring all those things together into your custom page. So one of the things that I can show real quick, I'm going to stop sharing my screen momentarily. So I've paused sharing. I'll come back to that in a moment. I want to show you what a full site editing experience looks like, not with blocks, but with another page editor. So give me just a moment. I'm going to add. It's exciting to see where elements of this are heading, right? It's exciting to see all of the things that they're doing to make WooCommerce better out of the box. But there's also a lot of stuff happening in the page builder space outside of WooCommerce Blocks. So I am rather agnostic when it comes to page builders, but I've become more and more of a fan of Elementor as time has gone on. So I'm just adding Elementor and Elementor Pro real quick. And give me just a second here. I apologize. It's taking a little longer just because I have cleared out some of my downloads. There we go. Let's get that installed, activate it, and add the license key. And let's make sure it is fully up to date. Okay. Let me go ahead and resume screen sharing. And let's look at how we would be able to, with a tool like Elementor, create templates that allow us to create a full site design. Elementor does play okay with Storefront. I like it more with the Hello theme, which is their theme. But let's look at a single product template. And I'm just going to call it single product. And we don't have any blocks or templates to worry about yet, but let's look at some of the various pieces that we can look at here in our single product page. So WooCommerce has, here a number of options for things that you can add. So here's our product images. I can add our product images here. Before I do that, I can actually go in and I can select a layout. So let's go ahead and create a typical layout. Let's add a product image block here. Let's go back and add our product title, our product description, and our product meta under our title. Let's go in and we can add the product price under the description. And we can add our add to cart button below the price. And then we can publish this single product page. We can choose where it's shown. So I'm going to show this with all products. So it'll be included for all products. And I'll publish. And now if I go back to view our page, if I go home and I go to the hoodie with logo page, it's actually using the storefront still. Let's go ahead and change our theme real quick to make sure that it's using the right one. Storefront normally does work with this, but in the interest of just eliminating as many variables as possible, because this part was not part of what I was planning on doing today. We're completely off script, folks. If everybody likes being off script, say off script in the chat. Now we've lost some things because we've changed to the hello theme now. But things have changed a little bit here. And there's our design. We created a design that has, the product image and these things in that order. So now, we've created a template that's slightly different than what we started with. Elementor's templates and their template builder are really, really, that would help. It's still a draft, so let's make it not a draft. That's why it wasn't showing up. And let's try this again. Yep, there we go. There's our template that we made in Elementor. Much, much simpler. I don't necessarily like what we've done so far here. But look, our blocks are still showing up correctly, even with a different theme now. So we've still got our WooCommerce Blocks based checkout working. So just amazing how, little changes like that, you can go in and modify this. One of the cool things about Elementor is when you're viewing a page in WooCommerce, like the single product page, if you want to go back and edit that single product template, and let's say maybe down here we want to add the product data tabs like the normal page, and then we want to go in and maybe add some related products and maybe some upsells. And then we want to go in and just add our product stock. So the stock level for how many of them we have. And then, we can just make some minor changes here. And we can save out what we've done to this template. And we can go back and view our site again, go back to that hoodie page, and we can see the related products are here, the descriptions here. The reviews tab is here, and hello doesn't have any tab design. So let's go ahead and go back and let's see what happens if we go back to storefront now. Now that everything's actually published and working. So there you go. Still have our custom design that we built with Elementor, and our tabs work as expected. So just a little bit more to show you guys that this is, eventually Gutenberg will do all of this too, which I think is really pretty awesome. Let's add another template. Let's create a header. We're going to call this primary header. And we're just going to insert this one. I have an account. Why are you not working? Here, I have a feeling I know what's going on here. Let's try this. There we go. Let's go into the theme builder, go into our primary header, edit with Elementor. Let's add out of the library this header here. It's going to ask me to connect. I'm just going to connect real quick. There we go. And now we've added a custom header. I can publish this header to the entire site. Let's just let's modify this site logo by exiting back to our dashboard, going to appearance, customize, site identity. Let's select a logo. We can go out here. We can grab our logo. We can skip the crop completely. Now I can go in and edit our header with Elementor. I'm going to change the background color of the header. And this would be a menu. We would normally have to select a menu. We don't have any menus yet. So we can exit back to the dashboard with that change made. Go into the customizer again, go to menus, create a menu for our primary menu, call it primary, and we can add some items. So we go add home, blog, shop, and we can publish that. It's really not liking the combination of the two right now, the header with the storefront theme. So again, it just depends on the day whether or not the template is going to work correctly or not. So I can set this and set it to be full width. I can set the minimum height to be 153 just to make sure that we get big enough. Almost. So this, because of storefront, is overlapping that because that's Elementor. This is why I normally just use the hello theme when I'm using Elementor, because things just tend to work. But now we have the default logo back because it didn't keep the logo across. Just go into the customizer, go to our site identity, select the logo again, skip cropping it, and publish. Close this, go back to visit our store, and there we go. So lots and lots of features and functionality that you can get very, very simply with blocks and with page builders. I just wanted to give you a bit of something different to look at than just the blocks, because the blocks were really a half-hour presentation. That's about all they are at this point, because it's so simple to get started. Does anybody have any questions?
Hey, Zach, does Elementor support Gutenberg blocks in any way?
Not yet. I would imagine once full site editing has been released and added, that Gutenberg full site editing will work well with Elementor based Gutenberg blocks, but maybe not the other way around.
And are you selecting Gutenberg for a little bit of your client's usability, or just to integrate with their maybe some other parts of their WordPress websites they've already done?
Yeah, it really depends. Gutenberg is a great editing experience. It does work incredibly well. It doesn't have all the features that all of my clients need yet, and because of that, I don't always use it, but it is a good option. I would say that the best option is whatever is going to give your client the most flexibility and achieve the goals that they have. So Gutenberg with blocks can achieve most site designs, even using the storefront theme. And with a little customization, the storefront theme can go very far. Ken, you know that because you've seen what I've done with it before. And let's see here. So let me just reshare my screen again. This is a site I built a few years ago for a local electronics retailer called Clinton Electronics. They're a manufacturer. They make all of this security equipment. I worked there as their e-commerce manager. And we were, able to take and use storefront with a few additional features to build a really beautiful website. And this is all storefront. And then we took and we added a page builder so that really rich content could be used for the overview of each product. And this is all WooCommerce, built nearly 4.5 years ago now. So lots and lots of capability. I added some additional tabs using a tab manager plugin from Skyverge. I created a custom tab that shows videos, that has an editing interface that you can get to in the WordPress admin. Created a downloads tab that uses attached media items that have a PDF or zip extension, and created this tab that loads accessories. based on cross sells and upsells because we weren't using cross sells and upsells in the store. So we repurposed them to power this accessories section, which is categorized. And then it is fragment cached so that the pages load pretty quickly. I mean, you can see, when we go to one of these pages, even with a whole bunch of other data being loaded in, the accessories are quick. And that was a big thing that we wanted to make sure happened. So yeah, that's that is the power of what you can do with just storefront with a little bit of work.
A while back, you were using Elasticsearch quite a bit. Is that powering a little bit of this story as well?
No, this one's not using Elastic at all. When I built this, Elasticsearch didn't have a built-in WooCommerce integration. So now they have a built-in WooCommerce integration. And I'm just going to pause my screen for a second. So ElasticPress is a plugin from the folks at 10up. And it does, here we go. It does everything you need to integrate with Elasticsearch. Now they have on elasticpress.io, they say, they talk about their hosting service, which is something that they offer. It's great. But there's also the plugin itself, which is on GitHub for ElasticPress. And you can just install this and run it on any site. It's also, if I go back here, I should be able to just find it. Right there, and install it. So the key with this is you have to have an Elastic server set up. But what ElasticPress will do once you have it configured, once you have your hosting set up and you have it all configured, is it replaces the queries for showing product categories and product data throughout your entire site, and it actually replaces pretty much everything WP Query does on your site, including showing lists of blog posts or any place that WP Query is being used, and replaces it with an Elastic-backed search. And Elastic is an amazing server product that allows you to index your data, index content, and then set up things like search fields and weighting. So, if you want the title of a blog post to have a higher weight than the content, the excerpt to have very, very little weight, the author to have no weight, and then your tags to have a higher weight than your text, your categories or your formats. You can do that for your posts. And then here on products, you can make your product category searchable. You can make the title, the content, the product category all more relevant than anything else. You can make your product tags searchable. And then you can save those weights that are given to each of these. And those will give items more prominence during a search based on the things that you have added more weight to, which is really, really cool. You can also have custom results. So once we had settings set up here, we would be able to go in and create custom search queries. And those custom search queries would allow us to override how search happens and modify how results come back from the Elastic server. It's really, really cool.
And this is all using Relevancy's. I'm sorry, this is all using Elastic's search engine.
Correct. All uses Elastic search engine. And you can get your Elastic search hosting from elasticpress.io from 10up. It's great. They handle all the work for you. You can have one WordPress site here, a gig of storage, 100,000 queries a month, 40,000 indexing operations, and they support it too. The other option is going with somebody like an Amazon. Amazon Web Services does have a managed Elastic server that you can set up. And then I know at one point WP Engine was talking about bringing Elastic to their network, but I don't think they have yet. Another way you can get some of the power of Elastic, but without the flexibility and without the control, is to use Jetpack Search. Jetpack Search uses a shadow copy of your site that's hosted on WordPress.com and uses their Elastic instances to power search on your site. So if you are okay with Jetpack and having it on your site, that's an easy way to get Elastic powered search on your site is with Jetpack.
Have you used Relevancy at all as an alternative search engine?
I have, but I don't particularly like it.
It doesn't have the speed boost that these two other options have, I'm sure.
No, not at all. So, Jetpack Search, really, they just re-architected in April, and I was really happy to hear that. But they have a front-end search app now. So their search overlay is Preact based, and it provides a filterable search experience right away. It's faster, and it supports search as you type, and it doesn't slow down the server because it's not reliant on the server to run, which is a problem that some of the other search plugins out there have, is that they're reliant on PHP executing on your server. And one of the things that I've been talking about for years now is that you want to offload everything you can off of the server that's serving your website so that you have the highest possible scale. So if you are running 30 plugins and 4 other services all through your server, like let's say you were to install Elastic on the same server that your web server is on, you're going to slow down that web server to run Elastic searches at the same time. So separation of concerns matters a ton. And that's a big piece of what I recommend to my clients. Anybody else have any questions?
All right.
Oh, that sounds like the owl.
Yeah, train's going by me here. This has been great. Thanks so much for kicking us off again here.
Yeah, I was happy to be here. It's hopefully at some point in the near future, not too far into the distant future here, we can be in the same room again. But it was nice to be able to do this. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you all for attending. And if you have any questions, you can find me at Mighty Swarm or at zachstepek.com. Or you can find me at zstepek on Twitter.
Excellent. I provided most of your contact information in this webinar as well for your social profiles. Excellent.
Awesome.
Have you also, if you wouldn't mind, have you contributed at all to some block development at WooCommerce at a little
No,
bit?
no, I haven't. I'm not really a developer. I can get by in code, but there are people that are much better developers than me. I'm a strategist. I'm an architect, but I would not consider myself a developer.
Excellent. All right. And strategically, does anybody sure would like a little help finding some more presenters down the road here? So if you have anybody on your mind, let me know, Zach. And if anybody out in the audience wants to contact me through my Meetup profile, that'd be super great too. I'll be editing this and uploading it to our YouTube channel in the near future as well. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. With that, I think we're going to call it evening. Thanks so much, Zach. And looking forward to resuming some form of normalcy in the near future.
Sounds great.
Good luck with your ventures.
Thank you. Talk to you all soon.
Bye-bye.